How you doing, guys? This is Johnny Reloader again, and I'd like to show you how to use the Rcbs scale. The first thing we have to do is remove the powder tray from the top, which is right up here. Take it and put it off to the side. Now, as you can see, we have a couple of weights. Now, these weights have to be used to calibrate this unit. The electronics inside are geared to the weight of these weights. If you try and use some other weights, it's not going to calibrate right. You're going to get the wrong setting, the wrong weights of what you weigh all the time. So use what come with the unit. Now, to start with, we come down the bottom here where you can see there's an on button. Give it a press. It didn't go on. You have to press it harder. Okay, it's counting down. It's going to count down to 0. It takes its time going down. Now we have the lines going across, and as you can see, it reads 00, and there's a little arrow pointing that it's stabilized. The next thing you do is you go over to the next button, which is right here, and it's called Calibrate. Now you see a C, an arrow, and a 0. Again, the arrow stands for it's stabilized, it's not moving. Now you press Calibrate one more time, and now you see a C, a 50, and the arrow. It's stabilized. What the 50 is telling you is it needs to have one of the 50 weights put on the scale. So right here up at the top, I'm just going to grab this one. Doesn't matter which one you grab. And I'm going to place it on the scale. Now I'm going to go back down the bottom here, and I'm going to press Calibrate. And what it's going to do is it's going to take its time and it's going to think. It's not quite as quick as the computers that you have at home, so it takes a little bit longer. Now you see it comes up with a C, a 100, and an arrow. The arrow says it's stabilized. So now it's telling you it wants the other weight. So we're going to take the last weight that's up at the top here, and we're going to put it on the scale. Right there. Now back down to the bottom, and we are going to press Calibrate. And now it's going to think. Sometimes it takes a little longer than others, but sometimes it's quick. Right now it's thinking, and it's calibrating the system, slowly but surely. Now we see 100, and we see an arrow. So what do we do next? The first thing we do is we take off one of the weights, and I put it here. Now, we're going to look down at the scale. Scale says 50. Okay, and it's stabilized. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to take off the last 50 weight. Now, we're going to look down at the bottom, and it says 00, and the arrow again says stabilized. So now we have to 0 it. This is the time we take the powder pan, and we put it back on the scale. Okay. Now we'll look back down here. Now you can see it has a reading. That's the weight of my powder scale. Each one will vary. It's stamped out of metal so that they're going to vary a little bit. So you're going to 0 it into the one that you have. So what you do now is you go down on this scale over here, and this says 0. Press it. It's thinking. It's calibrating. It did it quick. It's now saying 00. It is stabilized. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of my lead cast bullets, and I'm going to put it on the tray, and we're going to see what it's going to read. Now I put that one in. Now this one happens to read 254.8. Well, the mold that I made this from is a 255 grain mold. So you can see it's pretty close. And that all depends on the composition of the lead you're pouring. A 255 mold could read 240, it could read 265, depending on the makeup of your lead. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this projectile off. I'm going to take another one that's a little bit heavier. This is from a 454. And put that on there. Now, believe it or not, I used a 325 grain mold. and it's reading 334.5. That's because the composition of the lead that I used is a little heavier. Plus, it's got a little gas check on it. Now, if I take that off, you're going to see it goes right back to 0. Now, guys, I hope this little demonstration helps you out on picking out and choosing a powder scale for yourself. This is Johnny Reloader saying, you guys have a good one. Now, catch you later.